I remember I was just sitting at home and realizing I haven't had 2 hours to myself in the longest time. I'm starting to feel like I don't know who I am outside of the relationship. We don't really hold hands in public anymore because we're sweaty.
Our hugs are 1 second now.
He actually didn't want to come back to Singapore.
Oh.
I was the one that insisted.
Welcome to another episode of Men Explain. It's Sonia.
It's Avery, and we're here to talk about things with an unapologetic view. I feel like that's a very good way to say this today.
Why do I feel like you're about to make an apology for some reason?
I feel like today I'm very out of my element.
You are? Why?
Because the topic...
You're single.
Yes. Again, we're in this situation where we're talking about a topic that I know very little about.
Okay,
You
it's
know
okay.
a lot about.
You
and
will find out more because with us today, I've got my friend Edwin and his beautiful fiancée Rachel.
Yeah.
Edwin, it's been a long time since we actually caught up, let alone on a show. And now you're engaged to Rachel. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How has it been basking in the post-engagement zone?
Well, I know there would be a change after engagement.
Is there?
I don't know. That's what I heard. People are saying once you get engaged or once you get married, you feel different, right? So we kind of did a little bit. Once we got engaged, we actually felt way closer than ever before.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Oh, you agree with that as well?
I agree, I think. Suddenly we're not fighting about anything. So, like the little things I can overlook it, for a while. Right? Do you not think, Rachel?
I don't know. I thought maybe it's a sense of okay, we're committed now. There's no running away now. So you kind of have to overlook a lot of things. And and also you feel safer. It's him saying okay, I'm in this forever. So all the insecurities do go away. So I think maybe that's it.
This segued really nicely into our topic today because you guys started living together even before you got engaged and everything, which is not exactly the most common thing for Singaporeans to do, right?
How long were you guys doing that before you proposed?
About 2 years.
Oh, wow. So you were living for 2 years?
Yeah, almost 2
Almost
years.
2 years.
Wow. I know you lived with Jums for a while before you guys... For a long time, actually.
Actually, it was because of COVID. It was because of COVID that we tried to test it out. Okay, being an only child, right? I felt like it was very difficult to live with someone. Because I'm too used to having my own space, my own room. I don't share my bed. I don't share anything. I know it sounds a bit selfish or single child syndrome, but it's true. I'm not used to sharing the space with someone. So when we decided to test it out, I was a bit hesitant about that. But in a way, it was a good thing because I feel like I want to find out what his living habits are. And I'm sure he wanted to find out more about mine if we're serious about each other. Yeah.
So do you think that that's a big thing when you guys first moved in and you were like, oof, I'm not okay with that. Oof, I don't like that.
It didn't feel special or didn't feel any different. I mean, not that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. I mean, it didn't feel like it was a huge shift because when we first started dating, we were just staying over at each other's places every other day. So it already felt like we were living together.
Yeah. Maybe it's the concept of when you actually do get an apartment together and build something together, then it'll feel different.
And I think that's what happened in Australia. I think it was very special for me. And not kidding. But
try and make up for it.
No, I think I'm very lucky because with Rachel, it really did felt very easy in the beginning where it's exciting. We are setting out our own place, creating our own space. It was fun to do that together and it was easy making choices together.
Really?
There's not a lot of things that we have clashes with.
Wow.
So we are really lucky on that. Even in terms of chores, I think sometimes it's really hard to split that. But even that, we are very lucky because she hates doing the dishes.
Oh, so that
I'm
sounds-
okay.
yeah,
I'm
It's
okay
so
with
bad for your
dishes.
hands, honestly.
Oh my gosh, I've heard this from Sonia so many times.
It's so bad for your nails
The thing
and
I
your
was going to
hands.
say is that sounds so good, right? That you guys kind of had that very quick synergy between the two of you guys. Because I know for a fact, like Sons and I have talked about this before,
Yeah.
where she does not like doing the dishes, right? And her partner would scold her because she would leave the dishes there.
He was Korean.
He'll be like, why can't you just wash it up?
Okay.
No, but it's bad for my nails. You don't understand.
It's true. It makes my cuticles dry, okay?
Do the dishes.
It is close up now.
You see?
So did any of that happen with you guys? The little things.
It may not be about the
Yeah,
dishes.
it may not be about
So,
the
like-
dishes.
Okay, what about your yarn?
So we have the same problem with that. So our
Yeah.
yarn is a mess, but luckily we just tuck it in this cabinet where
Excuse me, I organized
Here
it.
we go.
There we go.
I knew the yarn was gonna unravel her
We found it.
something.
no, like as I said, like previously, like on the last point, like she no, like what I wanted to say was
Tread
like
very carefully.
I like she hates doing dishes. I'm okay with it, but I hate doing laundry, and she's okay with it.
Okay.
So there was that immediate like split of the necessities that are fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like going to the yarns and
the organization.
I am the messy one.
He is a huge mess.
Yeah, I am
Okay,
the
please,
messy
Rachel,
one.
please tell us. I want to hear from her perspective.
I wasn't very surprised that he's messy because when we first started dating, I saw the state of his room. I was like, yep, I'm in for something.
Yeah.
So when we moved in together, I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised how much more messy he could get. Yeah, but then he's very accommodating. So whenever I tell him that I have an issue with the mess, he keeps his mess like to his like because we had two separate tables, right? So he will like be messy, but he'll keep it within his space.
Like a controlled mess. I get it.
But you're
I get
okay
it.
with that.
I'm like, okay, this is the compromise I have to give. Like everywhere else, I'll try to keep clean, and then there's just one spot that is like a
Explosion.
mess.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some people who still can't deal with that kind of mess, you know. To them, it's like, okay, even though you are a messy person, now that we're living in this shared space, you have to keep it clean.
Actually, Jeremy is the more organized person between the two of us.
I know.
So rude. Both of you
I can
snorted.
imagine.
One
I can
snorted,
imagine.
one
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you know what. No, but it's true. Like, he's the more organized one between the two of us. And he had to compromise a lot with me. Because I'm an organized mess kind of person. And, I guess now he's decided he's okay with it. And he's going to just live with me forever, like with my mess.
But do you also like mess up the common spaces?
Yes.
And he's
yes.
okay with that.
I mean, it's like I said, it was.
I don't think okay is the word.
Okay, sometimes it will have
given up.
moments where it's a bit messy, right? And then I'll have the moments where I'm like, okay, I'll pack it up. Then I'll pack everything, and then it's fine for a while.
Okay, you guys were lucky, right? But let's say for your scenario with germs, do you think it's something where your partner kind of gets used to it in a sense?
He definitely
right?
got used to it.
But when you get used to it, you still don't like it. But you love your partner enough to kind of be like,
that's really
right?
that's
exactly
really
what
us.
he's doing with you, right?
Do you think it's because it was during COVID and he doesn't have a choice?
It's so bad.
No, but
Why is the interview on me now?
Because I can imagine like going through COVID, like living together. That's on the next level.
It is because you're up in each other's faces. You're cooking. You're living there. You're just you're moving your stuff in kind of. So I think one thing's for sure. Like I took up a lot of his wardrobe space, like his spare wardrobes. Like slowly, it's a gradual thing, guys.
I was gonna say, so you moved in with germs. Who moved in with who?
Well,
Because
Well,
we
we
moved
moved
abroad.
overseas.
So you all both had
Move
space
abroad,
together,
so-
right? So
Yeah.
okay, so that's easier.
Yeah.
So for your situation, did your partner, Jeremy, had to like, okay, this little closet space is yours?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because-
it's not big enough.
Yeah. Because there was once where I was dating a girl and she was like, "Do I have space?" And I was like, "Space for what? For what?" She's like, "Oh, for my stuff." I was like, "Nope,
Nope.
get out!" And I was like, "No."
Youch.
Yeah, no, 'cause,
Yeah.
like,
But that means you don't like the girl
Yeah,
enough.
clearly you weren't serious enough.
It's true. Facts.
Yeah,
Okay,
seems
let's
like
touch on moving to Australia for a very short while. Did you guys see that as a bit of a fresh start or a new chapter for you? Because I felt like you seem a lot lighter and happier. I mean, of course, because of Rachel also, must say that now.
Yeah, I think Australia gave me the space to work through a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it's not just Australia, like you said. It was a lot of support from Rachel.
Yes.
Like because of being with her and also working through like the knots in myself with her. It was like one of the best investments ever. Like we had to change a lot of things.
The timing coincided very nicely. Like, you guys got pretty serious and then you decided to make the move together, right?
I think we were only like how many months together before we moved. So we realized we actually have had more time abroad together than in Singapore.
Yeah.
How did your friends and family kind of take it when you guys said we're gonna move in together in Australia, in another country, we're packing up and we're leaving?
My friends were not surprised because I've just always been the kind of person to just like
Up and go.
Up and
Do
go.
what you want.
Yeah.
So your family was always like, okay.
my mom was just like, oh, as long as you can feed yourself, just do it.
What about you?
Yeah.
Back then, I was in the midst of
Going through some stuff.
some stuff and things like that. So going away was a choice that makes sense. And I think we talked about it and we're like, oh, yeah, we always wanted to go somewhere else. So why don't we just do that together?
Also, your sister did it before, so like he had an older sister that paved the way. So I think
paved the way.
so I think the parents were like used to it.
So
already.
who brought up the conversation of going overseas? Or was it really just like one day you were like, let's go?
I think she
Me.
did, because she did a work trip in Sydney.
Yeah. So it was like my first time in Australia, and it was the first time I've been overseas, and I was like, I could live here.
Oh.
Yeah. So even on that trip, that was like a year before we started dating. And then even on that work trip, I started Googling things already, like how can I stay in Australia long term?
Apartments in Australia.
Visa options and so I just fell in love with it. And then a year later I met him, and then I think I had already started talking about how like I kind of dream of living in Australia. And then at first I think he wanted to try go to LA. I was like, yeah, but guns.
Then we saw the news. But like and prior to that, I've never been to Australia before. So I'm just hearing from her stories, and I'm like, I vibe with her. If she likes it, I'm sure I will like it too. And sure enough.
Actually, picking up on what you mentioned earlier, because you mentioned that it was only a few months that you guys were together before you decided to do this, right? One of my very close friends, she met her boyfriend when they were working in Tokyo, and he's Australian. So she moved to Melbourne for him. Even though she's never been to Australia, didn't quite like it at that point in time because she didn't know much about it. She moved there, found an apartment, had to find a job, signed the job for 2 years, got a cat and everything to try and, get herself settled down. He broke up with her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's been a year and a half and she's still there, like by herself with her cat. But she's very much better now. It was a very tough, like 5-6 months because she uprooted herself to be in a foreign country. She had no friends there. Apparently there's a Bumble for friends, like Bumble friends or something.
Yeah.
So she made friends there and now she's like, okay, I think I could do it. But at that point, when you guys decided to do this, did you ever think that what if the relationship doesn't work out?
We tend to be kind of like people that just like ignore the problems and like not think about it. But also like I've always been the kind of person that like thought if anything went wrong, I'd just come home. Like people always ask me like, oh, how did you get the courage to like go overseas and stuff? But I always say it's just an 8-hour flight. Like you can always come home and nothing changes. It's actually not as scary as you think it is.
Definitely we heard even like there's a mutual friend that said like oh, what if you guys quarrel? Like, then what are y'all gonna do? And we're like, we're just gonna deal with it like how we would over here.
Yeah.
So the location doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, because like even if we were in Singapore, if we quarrel, same thing. It's like you still have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I guess some people see it, like me, right? The way that I would see it would be that, let's say if I'm in Singapore and I have an argument, the person that I can turn to are like my friends and family, right? We can run away and I can go to Sonia, I can go to my friends. But when you guys are overseas, you guys are like the only people that you have, right? Especially in those first few months, right? If you fight, y'all are in the same space, right? It's like, let me go to a bar, but I don't know anybody there. Let me go somewhere else, but I don't know anybody there, right? Was that a struggle that you guys ever had? And I don't want to pry, but did you guys argue in the first few months? Or was it like, what happens now?
I think that's a really good point. In Singapore, like you said, we could turn to our friends and whatever. But over there, the most you can do is WhatsApp. But even so, it's not the same.
There's no connection.
I think it really pushed us to face the problem head on together. There's no like wanting to run away or like maybe take a break or like talk to our friends or whatever. But it's just like, hey, let's sit down and talk it through because we're still in the same space. We still have to live together. I've learned a lot about wanting to face the problem as a team rather than like the problem being each other.
Yeah, I think being overseas and like being like it's just like us against like the world, right? It's like that we had no one else made our relationship stronger.
Between the two of you, would you say one person is more avoidant than the other, or both of you are the kind that you want to resolve it immediately?
Yeah, I think that's where like the phrasing really matters because I initially would be the more avoidant one in like the broad context, but I have to convey to her, like when we're arguing, if things are heated, it'll be like, it's not that I don't want to solve this issue. I would very much like to, but I feel like because there's a lot of emotions in me that like I need to take a minute to like just breathe. I'm not avoiding a situation, but let's get back to it after.
I'm exactly like that as well, because I feel like when you got so much emotions at play, especially when you're living together, again, it's like, you got to make sure that you say the right things. You got to make sure that the
you don't
argument
regret what you
correct.
say.
Yeah.
So have you guys learned anything new or interesting about each other in the process of these disagreements?
It's kind of strange because it's like I used to be someone that wants to solve it immediately. Like in all my past relationships, I'm always like, I need to solve this immediately. But then with him over time, I became the more avoidant one.
Oh.
Maybe it's because he's the first person I've been with that actually says, I need time. I'm not running away. Like, I just need time. So I think that made me feel secure. Like, okay, like I can take time to solve it. I don't have to solve it now. So I think that's one thing that's new for me.
Yeah.
Two of you all found your person. Like it's so nice to hear them talk about each other, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we do educate ourselves. Like, we watch a lot of podcasts about relationships and things like that.
Is it called Men Explain or?
It's called
Sometimes we're just spilling
good
tea.
plug, good plug.
We don't necessarily have advice.
Like, there's a lot of things that we learned, and some of them are really useful. Like, you know, when, example, if you are quarreling about something, having a physical contact.
Yes, like holding hands when you fight.
Holding hands.
Oh, I thought you meant like...
What? Hey, this one not BJJ, This one not BJJ.
That's how you fight.
I told you already now.
I told you I love you.
That's cuteness aggression.
I grew up with two sisters and my mom, you know, so I could definitely know when's the ups and
Yeah.
downs of the
Wow,
month.
You've been
you know?
through a lot.
He
So,
tracks my period.
So now
Yeah.
I actually just track her cycle because it just makes things like easier and clearer, and like sometimes when I know she's emotional, I won't take it personally.
Wow.
Have there been moments where you check and it's not her period? Like she's
Yeah, there's something I gotta work on.
She like argues for like 1 second. I get it now.
Yeah,
I get it now. You know, so I want to ask you guys this, right? Now that you guys have moved back to Singapore, what's the plan? Are you guys going to move in together again? Like,
we are already moved in
so you already moved in together. You've lived together overseas. It's the same. But now you all have your friends. So is there any difference to this?
I think it's more or less the same. The biggest difference we've noticed is like we don't really hold hands in public anymore because we're sweaty.
Right.
So we're like,
Yeah.
like we miss the affection. That's the biggest change.
Our hugs are like 1 second now.
Yeah,
because you can't.
Yeah.
It's like, it's too
Yeah.
sticky. I can't.
Yeah.
But you know, you guys are very blessed to have this great dynamic because I do know some friends who have tried the whole living together thing before getting married, and they realize that either they just don't enjoy it or they become too codependent. And I think codependency is like a term also that's, you know, thrown around quite a bit, and we don't sometimes really know what exactly codependency is. But to define it simply, I would say you don't have much me time, you don't have much space on your own, and you're just very codependent. That's not what you have, right? Like you have your me time.
Yeah,
did.
we went through
Yeah.
a phase. Yeah,
I went through
Oh.
a phase in Australia, like it got to a point where, because we don't have a support system outside, it got to a point where I started feeling it first, right? Because I was the one who brought it up first. I was like, I'm starting to feel like I don't know who I am outside of the relationship. So I actually started asking for like me time. I said, I think we need to make more effort to like have projects outside of the relationship. Because I remember like I was just sitting at home and realizing I haven't had 2 hours to myself in the longest time.
Is it because also, I mean, with your business together and everything, you also create content together. You
Yeah.
also, you know, create things together.
Yeah.
So everything was almost intertwined.
Yeah.
synonymous. Yeah.
Everything. And then like because it's like we have less of a social circle there. It's like we have less social events to go to, and so we would just like we'll eat together, you know, we live together, we work together, everywhere we go grocery shopping also together.
Yeah, the meal prep together, and then we'll eat the meal prep together. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all our friends are like our friends. I don't
Yeah.
have my friends and his friends.
I mean, like during that period, of course, I felt a bit like, why are you feeling lonely? Like, isn't this enough? Like, or she needs
Am
more
I
me
not
time. Am
enough?
I not
Okay,
enough? So
okay.
I have to
Yeah.
confront those things before. But then, if I really listen to her, what she's trying to say is not that I'm not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really got to work through that myself.
Mm.
Yeah, because I'm like, unlike her, like she needs more like friends and stuff. I think I grew a little bit more introverted over the years. So like, I mean, for me, I just had to go for a run, and like that
Clear
would
your head,
satisfy.
Yeah. He actually didn't want to come back to Singapore.
Oh.
I was the one that like insisted.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he was happy being there. He was like, all I need is the trees and you. I was like, but I need my friends. I need my family.
I don't know whether it's a
Yeah.
female versus male thing also in a
I
way.
think
'cause-
so.
I don't think for me it's different. The only reason why I will say this is because I tried for like 3 months. There was a time I was house sitting for a friend who moved to Canada for 3 months, and they had like 4 cats.
Yes,
And this was when I
remember
was with my with my ex-girlfriend.
Mm.
And she wanted to stay with me as well. right? She's a sweet, sweet girl, but this is the first time that I had somebody living in the same space with me. And it made me like, oof, like I needed some of my space. Exactly like that. But this took you a while. It took me like 3 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah. And I was
Damn.
like...
Was it the cats also? I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was just like, this is not something that I want here. The way that you do this is too much for me. And I was like, I need my own space.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm the kind of person that I like my own space. And when somebody's living with me, there has to be like specific ways that things are done.
Oh.
But how much did you like her in the first place?
We were together for a long time. Like,
Actually, it was one of his longest.
Oh.
Can I chime in?
Go for it. Yeah.
Cannot. Of course you can.
Unless you make me look bad, then don't. Go for it. Yeah.
I was like that before.
Yeah?
Yeah, that I would need my me time. I need my alone time.
Okay.
But like,
I guess he's lived with his ex before.
yeah.
Ah,
So he's had 2 experiences to
I
compare.
see.
By Rachel, it feels like I have enough me time even though we live together.
Just imagining Edwin being very lonely at home.
Yeah.
And like drinking his drink alone.
And then the door was, you're home!
Eating alone.
babe,
Yeah, I pretty much take out the
Essentially,
apron.
yes, I'm not even kidding.
And it's been like 2 hours.
Yeah. Pretty much like that.
Yeah.
No, but like I mean, because I think in Australia it was a bit different. Like I have I occupy myself with like content creation and of course like my crochet things.
Yeah.
So that I'm occupied that way. So whereas in the past, like maybe my me time I needed like to hang out with my own friends.
Yeah.
Whereas like in that phase of my life, like currently I don't need that.
Obviously, as you said, Rachel was the one that said, you know what, I think I need some of my me time. Do you think that living together, especially in a place overseas, Singapore, whatever it is, right? A lot of people fall into this trap of codependency and they're not able to form these healthy boundaries.
For me and Germs, like we have very clear, we compartmentalize quite clearly. So I know that for certain things, I want to spend with certain friends. That includes you, yes, okay. And then some other groups of friends, we do other things. So it could be like, oh, I want to go for sound bath or I don't know, cold plunge or whatever. I'll go with my girlfriends, for example, and it's strictly like girl time.
Right.
So I'll tell him like, oh yeah, I know girl time. Sometimes we want to go out. Okay, it's just us girls. I hope you understand. Like we just need to, because the conversations that we have with friends without partners is very different.
Yep, they're very different.
Right?
Yeah.
He's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What conversation?
No, I mean, it's no,
Very
it's true, it's
different.
true. I crashed their girl time before
You
once.
did?
Just
Okay.
cause like, it's out of convenience and whatever. And I was like so bored.
Oh my! Trust me, that's only 30%.
Yeah.
It's not fully unleashed.
I think with Rachel, it feels like I'm with my best friend too. So it feels like, let's say if I want to go for like a sound bath or whatever, those are new experiences that I want to try and I would love to try with her.
Would you be open to that, like trying it for the first time with him?
Yeah. Like I feel the same way about him. It's like he's like my best friend. So every time like I have like something new to try, he first
You
comes
call.
to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like living in Australia has taught me the importance of maintaining my girlfriends as well. So like nowadays I make an effort to like, okay, my first instinct is him, but no, I should ask my girlfriends instead.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah. So like sometimes when she gets maybe a PR dinner or whatever,
Event, yeah.
and then she'll be like, hey, can I ask my friend? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I think we also established like the importance of having to come home and tell like my partner about my exciting day or like what just happened, because living in Australia, I had a job where I had to get out of the home. So I was out a lot. So when I come home, there's a lot of like, hey, I can tell you what happened at
but
work.
then that happened because I pointed out that we didn't have space. So I was like, I miss having you, like hearing about your day that I wasn't a part of. And then we found that that's very important. So that's why he went to go and get a job.
I can totally relate because, in Singapore context as well, when we get invitations or like in movie premieres or like, hey, come try this new restaurant or whatever, my default is usually Germs. But then sometimes I also want to bring like various different groups of friends to come and try different things. So when I started to do that, I told Germs like, hey, you don't mind for this restaurant one, I'm going to ask my girlfriend to come. And he'll look sad for a minute. He'll be like, oh, I also wanted to try that restaurant.
Yeah, he does that too.
Then he will look to a distance.
Always.
Like, oh, I also wanted to try. You know that face?
I already dress like come out in a full like dress up. Oh, okay, yeah.
Rachel's gonna go with her friends and Edwin's in the corner.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be in the corner of the restaurant. Hi, babe.
He's the waiter. Like the waiter. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
But
and I also think like other than healthy boundaries, I also touch on like the fact that when we are cohabiting, it's important to not fall into the trap of like, okay, even though we're spending a lot of time together, but they end up not being quality time. Like, what if, we're just like, we're spending a lot of time together, but because we're always together, we kind of take that time for granted and we just end up, like there are phases in our relationship where we just end up being on the phone.
Kind of becomes a gray area, basically.
No, for sure, 100%. Because the fact that you already share a space, sometimes I'm like, I'm already going to see him tonight. Or like, I'm already going to see him at the end of the day. I'll catch up with him then. But we can go the whole day without saying anything or updating each other on anything. Then by the time you get back, you're like, I'm so tired, I'm going to sleep. And then that's it. So you don't really even spend much time.
So do y'all set aside a specific day? Like, let's say every second Friday we'll go for date night to have this personal time. Or what was it that you guys did to try and make sure that this didn't happen?
We haven't really like
established
like a specific schedule, but once in a while we do. When we find ourselves getting into a funk, then we're like, okay, we need to go and plan something, or let's go on a dinner date. And he takes a lot of initiative. Like, he'll be like I feel like we're getting into a funk. I booked a restaurant. Like, he actually
so cute.
puts in a lot more effort.
Does this happen like every week? Because he wants to just go out with you every week. He's like, hey, babe, funk today.
We're in a
Funk.
funk.
Tomorrow we go out.
Every week.
I'm noticing more since we came back.
I mean, like, we've been trying to like, moving back, we had to do a lot of logistics and, there's a lot of chores that we have to do together. So that's totally not sexy. And like, then we end up having to like scroll on our phones. So like, see what do we need to get for our new place and things like that. So that became the norm. Yeah. And we're like, hey, like it's nighttime and we weren't like talking as much. And we're like, okay, let's like change it up. And as much as we would like to set hey, every Monday is this, every Tuesday is that, but like because our schedules are kind of like
all over the place,
that we just kind of like take it as it comes.
Yeah, and also we developed this new habit of like, even though if we've spent the whole day together at home, at the end of the day we try to ask each other like, how was your day? Like, even I've seen you the whole day, we do try to ask, how was your day? What was what was your favorite part of today?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Same.
I got into an argument with this before while we were staying with that girl. Came back, she was like, how's your day? When it was okay, I'm very tired. And then she got so angry.
Because you didn't want to share.
Because I didn't want to share. In my head, it was like, but I've been texting you the whole day, right? You know how my day was. But that's my fault. And I acknowledge that it was my fault back then, right? Because now I'm like, oh shit, I should have actually like told you how my day was, But now I kind of get that. And I think that's very sweet that you guys have that, communication to do
like
that.
It is effort.
Yeah, it is. If you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He really is, I think.
I really am. Yeah.
I've grown. Leave a comment. Hit like if you're watching.
I'm going for therapy now.
Hey, to be fair, I really liked her, okay? Like, yeah.
Okay, move on.
Sorry. Okay, so when is the wedding slated to happen? Have you guys discussed it already?
Next year would be the ideal date because there's still a lot of things you have to figure out here, like in terms of business and also like just work in general, get that part settled.
Yeah. I remember when we first got engaged, we were just like basking in it and all that. Yeah. Then only a few weeks later, like the reality hit, like, oh, we actually have to plan the wedding now. Like, oh, I have to do the work now. Like,
I always like asking this question, right? But like, Edwin, when did you know that like Rachel was the one?
He's taking notes, by the way.
I already kind of knew even before I proposed, obviously, right? Yeah. Like way before actually. The amount of things we've gone through together, the similarities, and the fact that I know that like out in the universe, there's always like a lot of people could say like there's plenty of fishes in the sea or whatever, but it's like I know there's only one Rachel in this universe.
Oh.
And like there's only one person like her out there. Like there's for me that can see me this way and match me this way. And I think we've been through enough trials and tribulations together, and we're like, and I just know I would like to grow old with her.
Who is cutting onions? Stop it! Like who?
Rachel, I could imagine like growing old and still doing silly stuff with her, and like I think it's that.
So did you have the exact same thing? Like when you guys got together, like in a few months in, you were like, "Yep, this is my person."
I think for me, it took a year. I think it's quite common. Like girls always take longer to like accept it, right? So for me, it's like it hit me that he's the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. When I realized that living with him felt like it was just one big slumber party with my best friend.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, like if because it's like you see so many like marriages that end up being so like passive and like, and they just like, I've even seen like married couples where they sleep in separate rooms, and that's the kind of stuff that I grew up watching. So I thought if I can find someone like this, and that's rare, So that's how I knew. I was like, okay, I can't let this one go.
Oh, guys.
I also
Abe is
want
feeling
slumber
super
party,
single
yeah.
right now. Hey, your slumber party very different, like Avery.
And it's like you would hang out with your friends and whatnot, but I'm like, okay, I actually want to go home to like hang out with her.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go home too late and I'm tired and I can't hang out with her.
So
Guys,
that's the
yeah.
standard.
On the flip side, I just don't want to go home.
Yeah.
I just want to get more drunk.
I think this is another episode, another topic.
Well, I feel you on that. Okay, we can talk after.
After this.
Guys, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
It's good to have you guys back. You know, I know that I didn't get the chance to get to know Rachel that well before you guys moved to Australia, but it's good to reconnect with you and to meet you and finally chat with you as well. And please come back and drop by, chat with us again soon.
Yeah, I will say today has been an episode where I feel like the two of you all are like perfect for each other. It's so nice to listen to the both of you all speak. But before we end it, I just want to ask, right? Any advice for people who are thinking about cohabiting?
I'm a firm believer that you should do it
Same
before
here.
you agree to get married.
Same here.
You have to test it out.
Yes.
Yeah, like what's the worst that could happen, you know?
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Men Explain. Edwin and Rachel, y'all were amazing. If you are currently watching, please make sure to follow us on all our socials on Instagram, TikTok. I don't even think we have X, but yeah, follow us at itsclarity.co.
Please do follow us as well. That's Me Listen, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Catch you next time. Bye.
Today's topic, we're talking about something that doesn't happen very often here in Singapore. It's
Living together.
cohabiting. Was it cohabiting?
Not inhabiting.
Cohabiting.
Cohabiting.
I'm fucking
I
dyslexic.
just said that.
Cohabiting. Hey, I'm a radio DJ.
You are leaving this in the episode, by the way.
Cohabiting.